This is Snake. You're probably already familiar with it, especially if you were around during the cell phone games era of the early 2000s. But have you ever wondered what games inspired its simple but addictive gameplay? No? Yeah, well, me neither, to be honest with you, but I already started making this video, so it's too late to stop now. The general concept can be traced back to the 1976 arcade game Blockade. The idea is that two players control arrows that automatically move forward and leave walls behind them. Your goal is then to cause your opponent to run into one of these walls without hitting one yourself. The game ended up being fairly successful back in the day, and as with all successes in this industry, multiple copycats soon followed. The entire Blockade-like trend would end up dying out shortly after this, though, as newer and more popular games and genres began to emerge. This brings us to Surround, Atari's attempt to bring the genre to the home market. The core gameplay here is nearly identical to Blockade, with players creating walls and trying to box each other in. Nearly identical, that is, except for the fun new sound effect that Atari added for every block you create. That is a wonderful sound effect that they have chosen.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like...
Moving the joystick causes your square to change directions, though the timing can feel a bit off sometimes due to the jerky movement. Regardless, this is another game that really allows you to slip into that zen-like focus state, particularly when I found myself trying to fill in a section of the screen rather than go after my opponent. The game offers a traditional multiplayer experience as well as a single-player mode against the computer, but the real draw here, as it usually is with these early VCS games, are the game variations. The first one introduces Speed Up, which increases the movement speed every few seconds up to 5 times. This was my favorite mode, not only because it makes the matches so much faster and more intense, but it also changes the frequency of that horrid sound effect. The next major variation involves diagonal movement. A question I've asked on many Atari game variations. What's different here? Oh! There's diagonals now. It's a pretty cool idea, though I struggled to find a proper use for it. Maybe I'm just not that good at this game, but I found myself having a hard time steering when moving in diagonal angles. I'd say it could also have been the controller I was using, but that's one of the oldest excuses in gaming, and its mere mention invites skepticism. Erase is introduced in game number 7, and here you can actually press and hold the button to stop drawing entirely. Releasing the button then returns your square to line trailing. This can help you create exits for yourself out of otherwise unwinnable scenarios. There's also wraparound in the later games, allowing you to scroll both horizontally and vertically, instead of just crashing into the walls on the edge of the screen.
Yep, you can pass through to the other side.
Okay. What made you try that?
I didn't see any borders.
Oh, okay. Well, good eye, I didn't even notice that. I was just like, why would you have even tried to do that? This requires you to pay even more attention to where you're drawing, as you can easily block yourself in or potentially crash into your own walls from earlier. The final mode in this game is called Video Graffiti. This turns your TV into a digital canvas, allowing you to draw on the screen. Okay, listen, I know this looks very lame by today's standards, or heck, even by the mid-80s, but I would assume this would have been pretty novel back in 1977 at least. I was trying to do the Atari logo and it's not turning out super well. I wasn't trying to do that, it's just like I kind of had some lines that looked like that. Truthfully, there's not much more I can even say about Surround. As with many early Atari VCS games, it took a simple concept and added a ton of replay value with a bunch of thrifty game variations while keeping within the 2KB ROM chip limitations. It may have ended up being somewhat forgotten among the other launch titles in 1977, but it's a pretty good time in the right setting.